Hi and welcome to this video. This video I'm going to talk to you like you're a longtime viewer of mine, so hopefully you are. Uh, and viewer as in how many videos you've watched, not how long I post videos. Uh, which is a weird specification, but kind of needed because it's not time voodoo hoodoo, but it is kind of time voodoo hoodoo if you really want to think about it. Because how long you could watch is not how long I have been posting, because it's videos which are chunks of my time, but less so for you. If that makes any sense. Just quantities and quantifying different things with wordage is very funny with just dialects in general and just words in general, which is funny. Uh, uh, this game is very fun, and the reason why I'm playing this is, like, if you should know, I love Call of Duty Zombies. This Zombies is not really the best in my personal opinion. This Zombies is more roguelike than Zombies, or roguelite in more specific terminology, because it's very looter shooter, very little things here and there that aren't zombies. Like Black Ops 2 and Black Ops 1 are my personal favorite, and more zombies, more what zombies is just a boot up and go. It's my personal opinion. What makes a good zombies is that it is a boot up and go. There is no going through menu after menu after menu to get the specific weapons, specific attachments. No, that is not Call of Duty. And this video, I'm going to try my best to make it all in one go. I don't want to edit it because a lot of things I'm going to get into later in the video. Uh, but first, videos are surprisingly difficult to make enthusiastically, I think is a good way to put it, but not really in totality. I'm enthusiastic about anything I do. I do everything I do with my absolute ass, not half ass. But it's not without having any sort of bounce back, without having anything to bounce off of, be it one person or a group, to bounce off of when making content of any sort, it's a lot more difficult than you would think. Um, or at least I would think, because I didn't think about this. Uh, and it's something that's just surprisingly difficult and surprisingly just, I want to say annoying to make it simple, but it's not annoying. It's an interesting hurdle that I hope one day will be fixed, and if everything goes sort of right, it will, because my games will sell like hotcakes. Like, I hope you understand at this point if you're a long time viewer of mine, because holy shit, I know they'll be able to sell like hotcakes. Um, this video, I am actually going to talk about a couple topics I never really like talking about, and I do touch on it here and there about how I don't have the greatest family. And I'm not wanting to get into the weeds necessarily, but it's more why I understand how they treat me. How to put this? When I was younger, I wasn't able to really speak as well, but they saw it from the outside. They did not see it from the inside. It was a lot different from my point of view. Like, I do understand what they were saying, but it wasn't like, how to put this? I was a glass cannon. When I was like 5 and younger, I pointed and grunted to get what I wanted because everyone around me just let me do it. I didn't have to speak, so I never did. The moment I was told to, I started speaking. Like, the moment they said you're going to go to speech therapy, I started speaking full sentences. Because the only reason I didn't speak was not because I couldn't, because I didn't want to. And that is not overall my problems, and I do have a lot of them. If you hopefully have watched a lot of my videos, I do have a lot of problems here and there, but more hurdles, more challenges than really problems, because they're not, like, for an example, I hope you know this, like I've said, but I am numb. It is something that I've dealt with, like my family, for 22 years now, and I am 22. So anything I talk about is not really a problem in the sense of it really needs to be fixed. I've learned to deal with it. Like, for an example, I have learn to use my numb in all sorts of different ways. Like, I am able to sit still, able to crank myself up, and without, it's not, okay. I pay attention to my body. Because I'm numb, I have to pay attention to every little thing even more than a typical person. I have to pay attention to the little aches and pains, because if it is a little ache and pain, that little ache and pain could actually be like a, oh fuck, my limbs really fucking hurt. So I really have to pay attention here and there. The and I say little ache and pain because I don't actually know all the little pains, because little pain, like I'm saying, is not little. It's actually a lot more because I'm feeling it. Uh, so with that all said, I'm able to like cramp myself up, even though I'm 6'2" and white as fuck. I've been able to cramp myself up in tiny cars to help people move, and people, as in people in my family and different things like that. And with that said, going back into uh, my family likes thinking that I am a lot worse than I am. At least how they interact with me, how they talk to me. It's a lot of attitude, sass, and just anger for no good reason. And even if I say anything, I could ask a question, and they will give me then like a question like, "Are you sure you want to take blank? Are you sure you don't want to take blank?" Like, something like that, just to make sure they have everything, different things like that. Just simple questions like that. I can get the stink eye absolutely fucking yelled at, or not fucking yelled at, but bitched at in some way, shape, or form. And if I don't walk away, it could easily escalate from there, because I don't like getting yelled at. No one likes getting yelled at. And all sorts of different things. And that goes for, like, that example goes for literally everyone in my house and people that come around my house as well. Like, my family overall. And it's just not fun. And that's why I've talked about the curse I have. Like, that's just a curse. Like, even people I talk to online. Like, for an example, if you did not know, there is a YouTuber called Zavalar. Zavalar is a very interesting YouTuber, a very fun YouTuber. She primarily makes Destiny content. She's actually a very good Destiny YouTuber, with a very fun personality overall. But she she has dabbled into things like cooking, things here and there. I'm talking about this because her YouTube channel, her comment section, not every time, but a lot of the times, when I comment, somebody calls me a simp. Some way, shape, or form, or multiple of you back each other up and call me a simp. When I'm really just complimenting them. Like, it doesn't matter male or female, it doesn't matter anything like that. And they call it simp because she's a female, which is fucking stupid. But, male or female, it doesn't matter. I'm gonna compliment them the exact same, because even if they were male or female, that personality is just amazing. Like, for an example, I Am Wildcat has an amazing personality, but I don't really have much to really comment on with their videos. Like, I Am Wildcat, with their videos as an I Am Wildcat and the entire group. I've said multiple times that they really need to make an entire name for them, and I have no way to get them to even see that I've asked that. So yeah, like they really need a full name, be it the Banana Bus crew, the Vanos crew, whatever, and it could even be crew, it could be gang, it could be group, it could be any other key word there, or not even a keyword. It could be like Power Rangers or something like. I don't mean Power Rangers as in it's not gang group, it's a designation. I want to say, I don't think that's the right word. I don't think Ranger is a designation. Ranger is like a job title more than anything. But that general thing. Ooh, Simtex. You know, I'm going to take those. Uh, the reason why this game, I'm going to go touch on this a little bit more. The reason why this game is more of a roguelite is because the reason why I'm able to run around and gain health back from meleeing boys, excuse me, is because of the amount of upgrades I've got. This game is a lot of play the game, grab things in the game. That green stuff is not the stuff you grab. It is like every 10 waves, I want to say. And when you extract, do an Easter egg. Like, ooh, is that decoy? Fuck yeah, I will take that, stun your bitches. You get a specific material that you can only use in the menus to upgrade supers, like both top triggers down at the blue circle. And I say that to say a specific thing because, okay, I'm getting better at focusing on, I have editing. I can edit my videos to make things a lot more focused and point at things here and there a lot better. I did that descriptor because I am going to not edit this video. I'm trying to make this as smooth as I can, because the topics in this I don't really want to hear again. Because, like, I'm trying to, like, ease into this. I don't like talking about the bad about my family because there's not much I can really do. It's just depressing to me. And that's really it. My family how do I put this? Like I've said, they saw it from the outside. I have done a lot of stupid things because I was growing. It wasn't that I knew everything. It was still growing because I was young. I didn't know everything, and yet they want to take every action I've ever done as that is just what I do. I like they think I hell they've said that I have done things that I have never once done. So that doesn't even really apply to all the shit they've said. But a lot of the time I don't like this word, but I'm basically trying to cope with the bullshit they do, and I'm trying to explain to y'all that I can't even bounce off of them. Like that's the overarching thing I'm trying to say. I can't even bounce off of them with any sort of certainty that I won't just get yelled at. So most of the time, I just sit in my room and do nothing, which is why I've made videos just to feel productive. Which is why I've said that, and in like I'm trying to not hone in on, but if you haven't noticed, I don't have a persona in my videos. Like my voice, my speech patterns, like my speech patterns aren't exactly how I talk because I do talk better when bouncing off of somebody. Like if I ever had somebody to make videos with, oh shit, everything will turn up to another notch. Like it will be so much better because I talk better with somebody else. But without it, it works all the time. All the same, relatively speaking, I've gotten better at talking and overall just speech because of my videos too, which is very fun and why I don't think I'll ever actually take a break unless I really need to for some reason, shape, or form. Uh, but yeah, video making is actually a very fun medium to really dabble in. And speaking of that, I really want to dabble in basically every form of everything, like I've talked about. And going more into that, there is so many little things here and there. Like, for an example, I want to get into robotics. Robotics like robotic limbs, but not just the typical like arm. Like you have 5 fingers or 4 fingers and a thumb, palm, like all the typical like robotic arm. I want to make things like Dr. Octavius limbs, and not for an extra limb, like not for a you put it on because you're missing a limb. You put it on to help you in your job. It's a backpack, is what I'm wanting to make with that general design for an extra like exosuit, basically, to give them more manipulation, to do more things with it, because the Dr. Octavius type limbs would allow the worker, the average worker, to do so much more than they otherwise would be able to without that, which would be handy overall for the overall workforce. Like, little things like that is what I'm wanting to do. Not little things, that's actually a pretty big thing, but with the little movements that the Dr. Octavius limbs would have to. How the fuck did that not melee? Or collide? Dr. Octavius limbs would have to be able to do. This is where Simtex would come in real handy. The Octavius limbs would have to do things like cosmetics for like ears, like a lot of different mythical creatures have little, like a lot of different cosplays, different things like that have different types of ears, and also different types of ears, be it cat ears, dog ears, like you fucking name it. And there could be different types of ears in those. Like I just want. What other types of ears are there? Elf ears, goblin ears, like also different ears that could have so much extra there. Like for example, cat and animal ears that move. You could have a servo in them and have a lot more movement than the typical like what you would think of for overall like movement and just general design. Uh, Somebody that has really gotten me to think about that a little bit more and has gotten me to think about cosplay overall is Miss Twisted. If you haven't listened to or haven't watched any of her videos, she's an amazing cosplayer and has a lot of just cool designs overall. Uh, a lot of her, okay, she is a Has-Been Hotel nerd. I have not watched it yet because I would like to watch that with somebody, and like I've talked about, I can't really watch anything with somebody or hang out with somebody for long term. But yeah, and speaking of that, I did, and I do take. Okay, I did have friends. I did have a clan I played with. They started being affected by my curse, and I tried to bring it up, and it didn't go anywhere. It just actually got doubled down and just got worse and worse overall. So I just said, nope, I'm done. Because I don't even have to deal with them, and I don't want to deal with somebody that's just going to do stuff like that. Which is horrible to kind of think about again, but nah. Which also makes all sorts of games, like even Call of Duty, like this game would be so much better with another person to play with. Like, say for an example, like, okay, I like the ballistic knives because of what you're seeing me do. I can run around, and I even have a gun if I really want to use it, but I personally prefer just to knife around. But if, say, I have an extra player with just an average gun, like it could even be the M1911, just something like that, they could do a whole lot of damage. You can help me out with ad clear. Just one extra player in a multiplayer game does so much. Like, for an example, Destiny. Some things you need an extra player. And without an extra player, you can't do it. And with my curse, you extra can't do it. So it's just a double whammy of I'm fucked. And the reason why I'm making this video is because, and why I don't want to watch this over again, is because that's like the main thing I'm wanting to talk about, how I'm just kind of fucked. Like, the reason why I haven't been able to even begin to really make my games, why I don't have a PC and different things like that, is because, sure, I have a lot of money. I have, not a lot of money, I have disability because, like I've said, I was a lot different. I've gotten better and better and better overall over the years. So I did get disability because I was worse off, relatively speaking, overplayed to make it easier on us. Best way to put it. Uh, not really overplayed. I don't know the right word. I don't think it was overplayed. I don't think overplayed is the right word. But uh, because of that, I have a lot of money, but I have never once been able to actually hold the money in any way, shape, or form, even with a card. Because for, like, I want to say 5 years now, my mom hasn't been wanting to get anything. And the reason I said my mom is because everything has to go through my mom. Literally everything has to go through her because she's the only one with the money and the one that she will actually allow unless somebody just does it for some reason. Like, not only one, she has let other people get cards, like my little brother, even before me, because different things here and there. Like, a lot of just bullshit overall. Like, I'm just stuck, and it sucks. Like, just the main thing overall is what I'm trying to get to, and I'm just trying to say this because my videos are my videos help me. My videos are fun to do. My videos get something to do and just a lot of pluses overall. But they're not as enjoyable to make. And just doing anything is not as enjoyable to make. And hopefully this video overall will help me just get it off my chest and just make everything a little bit more bright, so to speak, because I don't like thinking on the bad things. I don't like thinking on the depressing things because that doesn't help anyone. Like, thinking on the bad only hinders you and everyone around you. If you have the bad in your mind, like have the bad, like it could happen, like I do, like I've said, like it's a lot of bullshit. It happens so many times, like I can literally say what's gonna happen next. The next words are gonna come out of their mouth. Like it happens that often. But I don't focus on that. I think about it when I see the signs. I just walk away. Like, that general thing is how I just do things. And everywhere I go, not everywhere I go, but every time I try to, there's a lot of just arguments. And over the internet, there's no signs over the internet, but sometimes with personalities you can tell. And over the internet, it's just a lot of arguments. And I mean over there, like in LFGs, just about anything I could really do to try and play with somebody. Like, I have talked, or I have gotten shit talked and said more shut up or different things like that in Overwatch. And Overwatch is a thing altogether, but in Overwatch and other things like that, or not other things. Actually, it's not really a good example because Overwatch is just this scum of the earth in every way, shape, or form. We're not every way, shape, or form. The player base that is good is very good people. They have actually some pretty cool ideas, and the game they play is actually really fun because what they enjoy and different things like that. Like, it's a very interesting game. But the main player base, as in the people that are just taking it over, as in the cheaters, and how Blizzard themselves treat everyone involved, their gamers, the makers of the games, just everyone involved in that stuff, it's just wrong as well. And speaking of that, another thing if I just don't like thinking about the depression is reality has never really been kind. Life has always been a bitch. Like, if you think to any point in history, no one's had it easy. No one's had it right. No one's had it good. Like, I personally think there shouldn't be a day for anyone, be it black, gay, straight. Like, I shouldn't think there should be a day for any sexuality. Not gender. Gay is not a gender. Gay is a sexuality. If you try and say it is gender, you're automatically just wrong with definitions. It's sexuality is how you want to have sex. It's your sexuality. Gender is what's in your pants. That is literally all it means. It does not mean anything else. And the reason why people want to ask what your gender is because it actually matters about a lot of little things that you wouldn't think about. Like, for an example, testosterone versus estrogen. That alone changes so much. And testosterone is the guy drug, best way to put it, and estrogen is the girl drug. Like, simplifying it, it's not that simple, but those two drugs change so much about you overall, which is why guys have nuts, girls don't. Like, girls have nuts, relatively speaking, but not nuts. So, tomato, potato kind of thing. Uh, that general thing. And I'm just going to run around more because I can't talk and be smart. Or not talk and be smart. I can't play and be smart. That's a lot of Zomboy. Uh, I don't think there should be a day, a month, or anything like that for any group of people or any sex or any gender for that matter, because everyone everywhere has had it bad. Why celebrate one group for having it bad if that's what you're doing? Like Father's Day, good. Mother's Day, good. But that's not a sexuality or a gender. That's those that actually have to face the hardship and the actual challenge of being a mother and a father. And in what I celebrate with that day is the good mothers and fathers, because the bad ones don't deserve to call themselves mothers and fathers. Which, and I'm not saying mine are necessarily like that, but there are some out there that are just fucking horrible, that have just done horrible things to their kids that do not deserve to celebrate that day, do not deserve to think that that day is for them, because it's like military day. I forget, like, I think there's multiple military days, which I said military day. There's like 4th of July, which is a military day technically, and Memorial Day, and I think there's also another day, which is all military days, and I think those are like the most cost efficient, relatively speaking. Like, simplifying, it's not cost that I'm worrying about, it's just cost in mental, in like spoons, relatively speaking, and all these different things, because there's so many days can go around, different things like that. Having military days, not for the hoorah military, but for the sacrifices that were made, for the men and women and children, not children, but yeah, sometimes children, that have suffered. Like, the PTSD alone is such a hard curse to be given, to be blessed with, basically. Like, if you really want to go with Warhammer type thought process. And the reason why I kind of like Warhammer is because it does make it a little bit better overall. Because Warhammer is a good example of what the upper limits of brutality and horrible things can be. I was checking how long this video has gone on. It's 22 minutes. But Warhammer is a good example of brutality and just how bad things could, in theory, get. The what was I going to say? The honor of having PTSD, basically, is actually an honor IRL, if you really want to think about it. Because having that PTSD means one thing really, that, or PTSD when you go to war, because there's always get PTSD, but war PTSD means that you have gone to war. You have seen that ugly, just side of reality, because basically everything goes to war. Bugs go to war. Even space goes to war. Basically a black hole's war on a cosmic level kind of shit. Everything has conflict. But that's what makes reality beautiful, and that's why it is an honor, relatively speaking. It's fucked up. Like, I'm so gonna fully admit, it is fucked up to have to deal with that. But it is, in a weird way of thinking, which is why I'm trying to say it is Warhammer thought process, it is an honor. And I'm trying to say that because I don't know any other way to say thank you for fighting for us. If you've ever once been in any sort of military, anything, like be it Navy, Marine Corps, Air Force, all of that, you can easily go through some absolute fucking hell that no one should have gone through, let alone just a soldier. And I do mean just a soldier, because you're not there, you're only there for the people you care about, which is why in war, there's never a good side. Like, both sides are good, both sides are wrong, which is why there's never a good or a bad. Both sides are right in their respective viewpoints, which makes it so wrong in so many levels to just fight. But sometimes you have to, which is why Warhammer's beautiful. Because, like, for an example, if you didn't know, in Warhammer 40k, I didn't mean 40k specifically, fantasy is a completely different thing, but 40k, they basically no one likes war, but it is a necessity. Even the God Emperor doesn't like war. War is just the necessity, not even the necessity. It is as natural to go to war and as needed to go to war as breathing is for a human in that universe. And in micro steps and in also different things, even in our world, it is the case. So, and something kind of cool if you didn't know and if you haven't realized, in our world there is power creep. So who knows in 1,500, like not 500, 5,000, 4,000, 6,000, who fucking knows how long there could be not necessarily Warhammer 40K, but a war on that scale because everything evolves over time, which is good and bad because like everything evolves over time. Literally everything. Games, weaponry, animals, planets even. Like think back to when Earth itself was just and think back to as in if you know the science, but think back to when Earth was just a big ball of molten land, not even water. Like the sun was still absolutely fucking pissed at its own creation, just like that general thing. Reality was pain back then, but good thing for reality, there was no life to feel that pain, so it was good. But over time, that ball of molten earth and just magma and just death, basically hell, over time got water on it because it cooled down. Then got plants on it because of that water, and then over time got more and more animals that evolved over and like evolved more and more from microorganisms all the way up to multicellular life. All of that applies to so many different things than you would think about. Like, for an example, any person listening to this video has evolved, relatively speaking, in their entire life. They have gone from toddler, walking on all fours, being or quadrupedal, having to do that to traverse, into your bipedal, hopefully bipedal. If you're not bipedal, I'm sorry. Hopefully that's a disability, and if it is, shit. Sometimes people just draw shit, the short straws in life, and that's just something you have to deal with. And hopefully by this point, you've gotten the hang of it. But that is the evolution of everything, and people just don't. People, I don't think, realize that in a lot of different things. Because, like, for an example, people say power creep is a bad thing, and sometimes power creep is a bad thing. Like in most cases, in a lot of games, power creep can easily be a horrible thing because the older guns or other guns aren't usable. Like in Call of Duty, if you really want to be sweaty and just absolutely fucking just sweat-tastic shitlord, play the best weapons. Play with the best weapons. Actually, even then, no. What is a good example? Even Overwatch, there's okay. It really just depends on what you're really wanting to use, your thought process. And I'm hitting this because I have nothing to really spend points on because I'm just trying to run around. I don't really hitbox ever when playing the game. But, it's basically how you want to play the game. Like, for an example, Overwatch. Overwatch, you don't... A lot of PvP, you don't necessarily need to get kills to be a good team player and actually play the game right and well. Like, for an example, Sombra. Like, this is just an easy example. Sombra. Sombra doesn't just have to get kills. Sombra could also just be an annoyance. Just intentionally hack the people that are high priority, get them to be more focused on them, like intentionally do it. Like, not kill them, but hack them, virus bomb them, get away, guarantee that you get away so they're not as, like, I can kill them. Like, have that, oh fuck, they could actually kill me at any moment. Like, have that ingrained in their mind, which is why I always call Sombra psychological warfare. Because that is the other side of Sombra's kit. And if you really think about the kits overall and not just the easy clickbait idea of what they are, you can do so many crazy things. Like Sombra. With Sombra, I have been able to completely derail the enemy team. Like, I mean, completely upend their entire strategy in comp and non-comp because of how I play Sombra. I'm not just going for kills, and I'm not just in their back line, or the enemy's back line. I am also in my allies' back line to anti-Sombra, because if you didn't know, the best counter to a Sombra is a Sombra. Like, hands down, if the Sombra is a good Sombra, even a soldier, even if they're using aim hacks, if you really know how to use it properly and different things like that, not aim hacks, super is what I was meaning by aim hacks, they're not actual cheats, but you can actually avoid it, because, like, for an example, the translocator it respawns a given amount of time. It is not a boom, you have the invisibility again, or a given amount of time for invisibility. It refunds like 2 seconds. Out of the 4 it takes to regen it. So, say soldier sees you, shoots you a little bit, pops a super. Get behind cover for 2 seconds, toss translocator. If he does not look in the exact direction you are invisible as the translator drops, so he cannot shoot you unless he sprays and prays. And with all that said, if you use cover to the peak, because if you use the small hitbox that you have, and how much cover's around everywhere, and how you can easily, like, okay, psychological warfare has so many different sides to it. It is not just a double-edged blade. It is like a quadruple, infinitely sided blade if you really want to get into the nitty-gritty of it. Like, for an example, if you really want to hone in on psychological warfare with this, how I avoid so much gunfire, and I think also Sombra herself has like a passive that's not related of gunfire and stuff, is a lot less likely to hit you. Like, even explosions sometimes just don't hit Sombra. I think she has a percentile chance to not get hit, which is very handy. Because literally any other character I play will get hit by any of those. Like, Suck Witches, or Moira's, Suck Ball. Her Suck Ball does not actually suck Sombras and different things like that. It's very interesting how you can play around that. Like, you can intentionally... I have intentionally ran just enough to gain invisibility. Not using my translocator, so she thinks I'm still in there. Talking about a Moira on the aim team. The Moira then tosses her suck ball down the hallway, thinking that because I'm there, she will suck me, so she doesn't have to worry about it. That will be an easy, they're there, so they turn around and walk away. But because I'm visible, I just run past it. She can't do shit. She doesn't know I'm there. So I just walk up, hack her, virus bomb her, kill her. Because she's away from her team, and right there is a good pick overall. Like, that stuff is what you can do to really make different characters amazing. Like, for an example, the big Samoan man known as Mauga. Mauga is the best ranged tank. Like, hands down, the best ranged tank if you can, A, cause fire. And I think I think Overwatch 2 should actually dabble more and make it more of a 2 in the synergies and the team composition. Like, take more Marvel Rivals type inspiration for their game, because if they have more team synergies, like for an example, Ashe being able to cause fire that the big Samoan man can then capitalize off of with his crit gun if they're on fire. Because any fire counts, same with Ashe. And what I was talking about is if they have more people that can cause fire, holy shit, the capabilities there are amazing. And the movement you see there is what I call ballerina. That is what I mean by ballerina. I just run through shit. I could not tell you what I am doing. I see pathway, I take pathway. Basically. Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh. Hi there. How's it going? Hi. He. Ho, he. I turn into a monkey for a second. I am good. Hell yeah. I think the wiggles like this actually helps somehow, and I don't know. Actually, it could easily be they don't track your body, because the same wiggle is across all Call of Duties. So I think it's the base Call of Duty formula is this, because the wiggle is what I always do to be able to go through things. Because I'm also, okay, I've talked about T-Rexitis in the past. T-Rexitis allows me to, while I'm wiggling, if they're like running in a straight path, which is why I like playing PvE more, I can actually predict where they're going a hell of a lot easier. With projectiles, no matter what it is, like I can predict it a hell of a lot easier. So wiggling allows me to absorb the entire field, which is why I wiggle a good bit playing PvP and not PvP, like anything, even PvP. I keep my head on a swivel. I can absorb all the information and see where all the movement is, see where the enemies are because they're moving, and just see where the different pathways are that I can run through, which is amazing overall and shows just with how I'm playing. I I had a main point I was talking about. Yeah, Overwatch. The firebomb or the fire concept there could be spread out across multiple players or multiple players across your team, like having a support, like having a inverse Iliari, for an example, instead of, or not inverse Iliari, being able to heal and different things like that, but more focused on the fire aspect than anything else. Because like there's supports like Lucio, supports like Moira, where their support is more the other things they add to it, or just the raw damage. So there is wiggle room for supports that can do more things than just like Lifeweave, for example, is just Lifeweaver is the control. He is the backup, not tank, but like how the tank controls the battlefield. Like if they're a good tank, they control the battlefield. The Lifeweaver is the backup control. The person that will, if you have good team synergy, which is something amazing about Overwatch, if you have good team synergy, it is even better because all of these things are even more amplified if you have good team synergy because you can capitalize on everything I'm talking about even more, which is something very fun about modern gaming, about how it is more focused on team coordination overall and just working together. Even arcade games I've seen more like Cartoons is a YouTuber I watch a good bit here and there. Cartoons is another one kind of in the Vanoss crew. He's not really in the Vanoss crew, in my personal opinion. He is there adjacently, but like a guest star here and there kind of thing. In my personal opinion. He is a good YouTuber, but I don't really like watching him overall. Like, I don't watch him as much as, like, I Am Wildcat or anything like that because he plays more... Ooh! Oh, I thought that was the Milano. I actually really like the Milano. Do I even... No, I don't. He plays more cooperative or, like, arcade in the playing with your friends or against your friends type of games. It's how he plays and different things like that, or more challenge focused. He's more playing with friends in more cooperative manners, which is why I want to talk about him, because there's a game called They Can Fart, I believe is what it's called, and the name is way it says enough without saying enough somehow magically. They Can Fart is a, if you watch it, I'm going to try my best to explain it, but even if you haven't watched it, or if you haven't watched it, I'm trying my best to explain it, but even if you have watched it, it is a very fun game, and I really like that concept, because a lot of games are kind of going down that, where you can do team synergy and just team coordination to make things a little bit easier overall, and just how little things here and there are supposed to work. And a lot of modern games have very, or not a lot of modern games, a couple modern games have very simplistic design. Like old games do, but these games have more eye-catchy, a lot more science put into it, and literally science when it comes to how different designs are made, how different things are made. It's because of how it catches your eye. Like there's color theory and different things like that actually play a part in advertisement, even if you didn't know, which is very interesting overall with how humanity has just evolved their science to do so many different things to help and hinder, which is fun. Because help and hinder, like some of them have been, like some things are kind of teetering on the realm of brainwashing when it comes to how forceful some ads are and how different things kind of say things like how much people know about the human psychology is getting kind of scary is what I'm trying to say. But what was I gonna say? Holy shit! I accidentally got him to hit that. Yeah. Modern games have a lot more simplistic designs, and because of that, they're able to get away with a whole lot more. And with that, with all of the things that I've talked about, how like the little things have been updated, how evolution is and everything, which is why I know if I can get a good enough PC and just Unreal Engine alone, that will let me have a good enough footing on my own to be able to make my entire future, and not just my. When I say my future in this case, it is not my future. I want to make a better future for me and mine, which in this case is me and my species, my people, my existence. And existence in this case is humanity, because no matter what we do, we are always going to be humanity. And not no matter what we do, we could easily like do genetic tampering, do all sorts of things to really change that sentence where we are not humanity, we are some grand thing. Because if you have a dog in you, are you really human? Like semantics. But humanity needs to work together more, and that is what I want to do. Like I want to be the catalyst that causes a golden age for humanity, like completely and utterly. And I know that given the opportunity, I can show how games can not just be a fun medium to waste time, but I'm wanting to do things like, if you didn't know, World of Warcraft has things like gold mining. Like, I think it's gold mining, where you can, or used to, I think, or China can't. Used to be a thing because I believe China was using it to get U.S. currency, which I think that or some country was getting U.S. currency, which they cannot get due to this method. But World of Warcraft and Blizzard used to allow people to grind gold to get actual real world money. Stuff like that, and I don't think it should be that easy, relatively speaking, to get money from a game. And I don't think it should be something you could really do, because your job shouldn't be playing the game. It should be making the game, if anything. Excuse me. And excuse me, even though I didn't hear that, I burped. But there's things like, for an example, no matter, like, I am wanting to have a, I don't know what to call it, but my anti-cheat I'm wanting to implement. Like, there's going to be double anti-cheat, like multiple anti-cheat. Like one, like the first layer of my anti-cheat is there is no game you're downloading, which is a double, like a plus for you, which you're not downloading 200 gigabyte thing. You're downloading n gigabyte, n gigabyte, if anything, like a very small thing. Basically playing off of the concept of Stadia, where you're connected to the server and you don't have to download a whole lot of things, but you're connected to the server where it takes into consideration your net code and different things like that to try and get the right server and right match for you, because no matter where you are or who you are, you would want to play this game, because this game is going to be fun, and no matter what game you play, because this game as in Black Hole. I am going to want to have a game, like I said, for every type of game. Like, I'm going to want a Battle Royale. Like, I'm thinking about Battle Royale. I don't know how I'm going to implement that, because I'm going to want it to actually be groundbreaking like every game I make, which is why a lot of my games are going to come out a lot later, because no game I'm going to make is going to be instant, just, it's done. Like, I'm not going to do the Call of Duty method. I'm not going to ever make a game for the money. It is never for the money. And going back into how people can have a job, the anti-cheat first is going to be the server thing, where you download a gigabyte thing to have like a window into the game, and the game itself is a server that you connect to, but not... If you have not watched Pirate Software Hardware, I forget exactly his YouTube channel. His name is Thor. Thor is an amazing YouTuber when it comes to science, and a lot of things when it comes to a lot of things. Like he science when it comes to computer engineering and just a lot of things here. And like his amazing opinions and just amazing humor, like word humor, just word humor at its maximum. And that is my personal favorite type of humor. It's just fucking funny. Even though I say fucking a whole lot, I don't really sound that intellectual, but I really like intellectual humor. Fucking is more of just a impact word. I don't have a better word to use. If I had a better word to use, I would use it. Uh, but he talked about peer-to-peer servers. Peer-to-peer servers, I don't know why games use them. Like, everything is talked about. I genuinely do not know why games use them. The benefits are literally just not even ease of use from what he said. Like, there's no benefit. It's literally just, like, stuck in the old ways kind of mindset. And it's weird that games do that, where there's so many different things. And, okay, the second thing on the anti-cheat, a little bit more on the server. thing. Because of how I'm going to do that, there's going to be no such thing as data mining because you're not downloading the game, you're playing the game, which is going to allow me to have maximum exploration. Like, I'm going to have places where you look in the distance, you think this is a death zone, you think that there's going to die if you jump down this hole or something like that. Like, easy catch-all Sekiro type exploration, where there's places where you will think you will die, you will fall down this hole and you will just die, and you don't. Like, it doesn't tell you anything. It doesn't tell you that you won't die down there, but you won't. It will literally be a boss fight of, oh fuck, scary bitch. Like, I'm saying this from experience. I know this hole was a big bitch. It was okay. Fully explaining, because I did play Sekiro a little bit, and I played other Dark Souls a little bit here and there, which is why I know Dark Souls aren't really my cup of tea. But Sekiro, around the snake area, below a bridge, if I remember correctly, there's a cave. In that cave, there's a massive drop. I am a Titan brain. I can respawn. Why not? Yeehaw, motherfucker! And I jumped down the hole, thinking that I was gonna die. Truly thinking I was gonna die, but I didn't just die. I did die, but not because of the fall. I thudded, walked around, saying, ooh, thinking that it looks like the Taken Realm. It's beautiful, it's gorgeous. And then I turn, seeing a pissed off, purple, headless motherfucker running at me. And I died. I don't know exactly how it killed me. I don't know if I could even really describe it if I wanted to easily. But I died is the best way to put it. Like, that was something, and that type of exploration, but not the you are going to get bitch smacked because you don't have the right gear. I'm wanting to make the game, if you can get to it, you are going to want to get to it, kind of thing. Where if you can, where it's skill expression more than anything else. Where the base game off rip will let you do everything you want to do, basically play it like Call of Duty, where you're going to have more and more grinding. And that specific bit is for RRP. Other games here and there are going to have more pros and cons, but this game is going to have that specific reason for being non-data mineable, because you're not going to be able to see the maps, you're not going to be able to see any information on anything. It is going to be completely up to your willingness to explore. And the best part about it, because I'm dealing with not even planetoids like Destiny, I'm dealing with other dimensions, different things like that, other planes, and I'm going to fully define planes, timelines, dimensions, realities, existences, because each one of those words should mean something differently. And for my game, because RRP stands for Reaper Recruitment Program. Reapers, why would they just deal with humans? Like, simple as that. Like, there's so many other things a Reaper could do, because basically boiling down a Reaper in my game, they are the white blood cells for reality itself. They go around cleaning the undesirables from the tree itself, or tree as an Idrisil, because I do like the concept of Idrisil, and I am expanding off of that concept, like how God of War Ragnarok did. I was going to say God of War Eternal, because God of War and Doom Eternal are very similar in like how much their next one did, and just for overall just gameplay sake. But God of War Ragnarok, see how long this video is going. Oh, 47. Okay. God of War Ragnarok. Or why was I talking about that? Shit. Well, I don't think there's really much more I can really talk about. Well, if you've gotten this far in the video, thank you. Thank you for getting past the little bits here and there. If you have anything you want to comment, and I do mean if you have anything, I don't want to give you any input on what to comment, because my goal for this entire thing, and what I've said in previous videos, is just to have a community that can go places, that can do things. Like I've said one time, I think literally once in one video way back in time, I think it was an infamous video actually, how my goal with my gaming career, with my career of making basically everything, and as cheap but as affordable and as good quality, like all those things can be together. You can have a cheap product that has good quality, like not even good quality, perfect quality, relatively speaking. Perfect isn't a thing, but perfect quality in the way you can make it. And all these different things and still be low prices because it doesn't have to be expensive. Most things don't have to be expensive at all. Just the person that makes it wants it to be. And that general mindset and what I'm wanting to bring to humanity itself is not just a better future, but the possibility to prosper in space. Because if we have all these divisions, if we have division after division after division, you can label at least 3 divisions off the top of your head, just looking around your community, no matter who you are, be it you're not even American, another country, no matter where you are, there is so many divisions in your people that you can just label. And little things that you might think of, like, and you might not even think of them as divisions, like anything that you could think of to divide them from being just another human is what I'm meaning as a division. All of those add up in the collective psyche to allow more reason for things like that, which is why religion has caused so much catastrophe more than even natural disasters, which is fucking funny. Um, at least for our history, natural disasters could have caused even more problems, but who knows? Um, but uh, yeah, oh, I really, like I was saying, I really want to get humanity to be able to go across the stars, or at least get to other planets. Because if we have any divisions, any reason, like hell, even religion, like I mean, even religion, like religion itself, because of how problematic it can get, like for things like nuclear arms, like I've heard people are wanting, like I think Russia specifically is really wanting to dabble into that, of intertwining religion with nuclear arms. That is the best way to actually, or nuclear storage specifically, not nuclear arms. I think it is nuclear arms in general, but nuclear storage is the thing I personally agree with making it a religious thing. Because if that's a religious thing, there is no fucking that up. Because the only thing that we have made, relatively speaking, that can last as long as nuclear radiation is theoretically us. Which is why religion in that case is actually pretty handy. But like in all sorts of other cases, it's just not good. Like the best religion, in my personal opinion, is Buddhism, because Buddhism isn't telling you to do anything besides just exist. Like it's the concepts to think about is a little bit mind breaking, a little bit here and there, but that's the point. It's opening your mind to concepts you wouldn't otherwise really think about, but none of their mind breaking concepts are wrong, which is why I like Buddhism. It's not wrong in any way, shape, or form. There is no bit about it that I don't even like. I don't disagree with anything. Like from what I've heard about, like there might be something that is absolutely fucking horrible, and I don't think that is the case. But Buddhism is amazing, and the best part about it, in my personal opinion, is that Buddhism, you're not worshiping a god. You're following a human. Like that is my personal favorite thing about Buddhism overall. Like you're just following a dude. You're just listening to how he ascended. Like not even I don't think ascended is the right word. How he hell evolved. Like I'm okay. I said hell evolved because that actually fits back to what I was saying about everything evolves, even games, everything evolves. Buddha literally evolved to be a god, relatively speaking. I don't know what he can do. I've never actually heard like his upper limits of power with his ascension, but he evolved just with mind over matter alone. And that's literally what the Buddhists are trying to do, which is interesting. Uh, and that's why it's an amazing religion overall, because they're not following it because it is a they're not following it out of any sort of moral compass. They're not following it out of it is right or sound or just or anything like that, because when you have anything like that, it is already a oh shit, because that could easily become the shield could easily become a sword, or just you could sharpen the shield in some cases. Like you could easily do some crazy shit and people will take advantage because people themselves are horrible people. And the humans are warlike. They love twisting and manipulating things. No matter who you are, you love twisting and manipulating things. It just takes one bad apple to twist and manipulate the wrong thing, which is just why religion itself is a flawed system, because there has to be one person on top of it. But with nuclear arms, if it's so ingrained, like I'm thinking, like I'm lit, I'm literally meaning this for a fact, like not for a fact, but like for one-to-one example. The Mechanicum of Mars, how ingrained their fanatic worship is of machines. Twist that around and make it more scientifically accurate. Or, okay, to be honest, with their science, it is actually scientifically accurate because there's such thing as machine spirit. They have been able to do a whole lot, and I muted there so you didn't hear my share move backwards because I had to stand up. It is a wooden chair after all. It hurts. And it hurts because I've been trying to make multiple videos, and I just said, fuck it, I'm going to make this one. So, uh, what was I going to say? Uh, I have 5 more minutes now. Uh, I had a point. I had something I was talking about. I'm sorry. I lost track of my. I lost track of my train of thought again. Uh, oh yeah, it was Buddhism. How all that's awesome and different things like that. Yeah. I, I don't know how likely any of my dreams really are, but I know deep down that I was. I don't want to say destined. I don't. The reason why I personally like the concept of Idrissa over any other religion or any other god or any other higher deity, just Idrissa as God, like as biblical God. Like, I mean, God. I think Idrisil is the best concept for it because it's just a plant. It's existence. It's not going. It for example, in the Bible, it says that God knows every hair on your head before you are born, which means he sees all your time. All times that you are in, that is your entire existence, he's seen before you're even thought of as a possibility for your great grandparents, like that general thing. Like he's seen it then. The same general thing would apply for an Idrisil, and I think Idrisil is the better way to think about it because the Bible has so many different problems, and that is one of the biggest religions, and I mean all the different religions underneath the Bible have a lot of problems, in my personal opinion, and that is one of the biggest followed religion overall, which is why I like to boil myself down to an atheist, or not. I don't really know how to boil myself down. Just a lot of different problems overall. uh, Idrisil solves a lot of these problems for me and gives me just something to think about because I don't want a god to tell me what to do. I don't think anything should ever tell anyone what to do and how to do it from the ground up, except for like laws. And I don't mean the random bullshit laws. And I'm talking from America's point of view, like America's laws and different things like that, but a lot of laws we have are just absolutely bullshit. Just absolutely wrong bullshit in so many different ways, and those laws can easily be upended, can easily be gone. But laws to help everything move a little bit smoother, that I'm okay with, and especially if it is laws that could, because the best thing about, I personally believe in talk shit, get hit, but that also applies to a lot of other things. Like if you actually kill the fucker that talk shit, and in this case, like for absolute, just this is completely justifiable. This fucker hurt your little sister in ways that I do not want to even say on the internet, like horrible, horrible ways. You find him, no matter how you find him, and you brutalize. Like you do a Mortal Kombat fatality that hasn't been even implemented in Mortal Kombat because it is too fucking gruesome. Like you do that type of thing because they hurt your little sister in ways you do not want to even think about. Like that general thing. Like you do that to them. That is justified in my personal opinion because of what they did. You're sure it's an eye for an eye makes the whole world go blind, but it's not an eye for an eye. That's justice in a way that the justice system couldn't do, in my personal opinion. Like different things like that, which is why the Wild West type of everyone has a gun is the best way to do it. Because, like, for an example, Incredibles had an amazing way to show off, or an amazing concept of everyone's super, no one is. If everyone has a gun, no one has a gun. Because no one's going to want to use it because everyone understands that a gun's a gun. And if one person, say, starts shooting up a Walmart, like the typical anti gun person says, everyone's going to start shooting. not everyone's going to start shooting because everyone understands how to use the gun. Everyone knows the gun. Everyone was taught the gun, different things like that. So they're not going to shoot everyone. They're going to hear where the gunfire's coming from. All of them are going to say, "What the who foreigner? What?" Grab their gun and not even grab their gun after that. As they're saying, "What the foreigner? Terrorist? How are you? Why are you thinking this is a good idea?" Grabbing their gun off of their hip, wherever it is, and just swatting his ass or her ass like they are Navy fucking SEALs, because that is what a perfect America could be if a lot of things are done right, which is why I want to talk about a lot of different things like this. With all that said, I hope you all enjoyed the video, and if you got this far, I really thank you. Have a good rest of y'all's day, and I will catch y'all on the next one.